So the biggest one that people took issue with was Bayley versus Shotzi, which had the Money in the Bank ramifications attached to it. So that happened last week when Io accepted Shotzi's challenge to put Bayley's Money in the Bank position on the line for their match, and that match ended up not happening. So not only was that kind of problematic because they, next week they're in London and next week is Money in the Bank on Saturday. So it's like it wouldn't really necessarily make sense to have Bayley lose her spot a day before
I disagree
the show.
completely.
It could happen, but I'm saying like it would have been cooler if it actually just happened when it was supposed to happen. But the bigger issue is, why does Vince McMahon continuously cut matches with Bayley? Because this is like the third time when we hear that he is taking control and making massive changes that Bayley was cut. Like, we can't forget Becky versus Bayley in the steel cage match. That was cut on Raw. So this is, I forget what the other one is, but there's another instance. So I just kind of wonder what's the issue with Bayley, Vinny? What's going on?
So, okay, what I gather from this, they want to make the London show, SmackDown show, excuse me, as big as possible. And I felt like this is an automatic, at least in my eyes. Shotzi wins, Bayley screwed by Io, and then Bayley interferes with Io, and that's our shock at Money in the Bank. Zelina wins it, whatever. But
That's because you
basically,
want Zelina to win.
I actually really want Io. I just want her to cash in and just win it already and have a massive reign. The problem is with winning it this week or doing it this week is you still have a week before the Money in the Bank itself, like a whole other SmackDown. So what are you gonna do during that? Like, what
Mm-hmm.
are you gonna do during that for them? Like another backstage segment? Well, you can not have them on the show this week and then have that shock moment leading into Money in the Bank, so it's fresh in the people's minds that happened. So when she comes out, it's even more of a shock because it's already predictable already. Why not just put it together?
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where my mind goes. I will say that it is really weird that he cuts Bayley matches so often. I would like to know more about like the trends with that.
Well, and the problem with this, even more so, is that she was one of the very few, if not the only, superstar promoting the show locally and promoting her match, even as recent as yesterday morning. So I feel like it kind of sucks that they cut her match at the last second, but then you were using her to promote the show and sell tickets and promote her match. And then you're like, LOL, just kidding. Her match is canceled now. And it's like, why were you having her do all of that if then you were toying with the idea of moving her match to next week or just cutting it completely? Like, it just was like really weak timing. And I just feel bad because it's like I said, it's not the first time that they've done this with her. And so, there was that time period where she was sending out some pretty like down tweets too about her position on the roster and with WWE. And it's like, you guys can't lose Bayley because you're doing this type of stuff. Like, you can't do that. So